To be honest, my back really is very painful when I drive. I think it was a really good reset for the team, and it was a perfect time for me to go into F3. I was signed into Trident for this year, for F3. But then, you know, after my accident, that contract went.
Przed startem tego sezonu Formuły 3 mieliśmy ogromne nadzieje, że wreszcie polskiemu kierowcy uda się stanąć na podium. I udało się. Roman Biliński jest pierwszym kierowcą w historii, który stanął na podium Formuły 3. Roman, nice to having you here.
Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and tell us, but be honest, did you believe before the first round that podium is possible for you?
Honestly, I did. Honestly, I did. And it was for sure, actually, the weekend could have been a lot better. Honestly, I think getting a podium in the sprint race, the potential was a lot higher, but you know, for my first Formula 3 race to be on the podium, I think is a good achievement.
Yeah, exactly. Potential was higher and you had a chance to overtake Stenshorn, but yellow flags and safety car stopped you.
Yes, exactly. I was saving the tires until the end, and then unfortunately, like you said, flags, safety cars meant I wasn't able to overtake. But also in qualifying, what happened basically, we did one run on new tires, and after the first run that everyone did, I was currently P3, and so it was looking good. And we boxed and we stayed in the pits waiting to do 2 runs, whereas some teams went straight out again on new tires and then they went in front of us. So actually qualifying was a bit of a disappointment, and the potential was really to be in the top 3, top 4, but you know, it's racing and this happens.
Yeah, and what could you say about tire management? Because you told that you save tires for the rest of the sprint. Tire management is your strong side?
Yes, I would say so, and I think in Formula 3 this year it's a bigger thing, because now the cars have a lot more drag and the DRS is more effective. So if you know, kind of relax in the corners and just use the DRS to stay with the person in front, you can save your tires right until the end, whereas the guy in front needs to be pushing to the maximum just to stay in front. So exactly, I was saving the tires, but unfortunately I was never able to use it in the end.
And for you, what is the biggest difference between car in FRECA, Tatus, and this Dallara which we have in Formula 3?
There's so many differences. I would say the biggest difference is actually the tires. In FRECA, you were able to push multiple laps in qualifying and still improve, whereas now you have 1 lap.
You have to prepare your tires, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really big difference. But then, you know, on the car now we have DRS, which is a big thing. Also, the braking, the downshifts, just everything about the car is completely different. You know, in the FRECA, when you go downshift, down the gearbox, the car's moving about, whereas here it's very stable. So there's a lot of differences, to be honest.
I think that this new car helped your team, Rodin, because a few years ago, in the last season, Rodin was 8th, 9th in ranking on 10 teams, but right now I think that Rodin is in top 5 teams right now.
Exactly, I think it was a really good reset for the team, and it was a perfect time for me to go into F3. You know, a new car, it just, new car, new tires, everything's new. So everyone has to start from 0. And I think this was a good thing. The teams changed a little bit, which also is good. So it was a nice place to start, and the environment in Rodin is very good.
And according to you, which team is the strongest right now? Because last season in Formula 2 show us that Prema has a problem to introduce a new car, and I think that Trident right now is the strongest. But what could you say about the rest of the teams?
Definitely Trident are in another level compared to everyone right now in Formula 3. But, you know, in this Bahrain test, I think lots of teams have improved. I don't think every round will be as smooth as Australia, let's say. I think it will be more and more difficult. But, you know, there's 10 fantastic teams on the grid. No team is, you know, stupid, let's say. Everyone is very intelligent. Everyone is here for a reason. So I think every team has that opportunity to do very well.
And I have to ask you about Robert Kubica, because I think your story is very similar. Kubica won the first race in F3 Euro Series after a serious car accident. He had 18 screws in his arm. You broke your spine a few months ago, and how do you feel right now?
Now I feel a little bit better. I would be lying if I said it's easy in the race, because to be honest, my back really is very painful when I drive. But, you know, I look at him as an inspiration, and he never gave up, and so that's my plan. I won't give up, and if I have to go through some pain to do something I love and to achieve, hopefully one day, to be in Formula 1, I will do it.
And did you notice something like improvement during last month when you are talking about your pain in back? Does it hurt you more or less?
It's difficult because it got a little bit less at the end of a FRECA season, but then I jump up into a Formula 3 car, which is more physical, and then it went back to being more. So now is starting to get a little bit better, but at the start of when I was testing F3 again, it went up a lot.
Have you special exercises for this kind of pain?
Yeah, I mean, for example, my warm-up for when I have to get in the car is 1 hour long. Most drivers, you know, take 15-20 minutes, but if I don't do a massive warm-up, I'll be in a lot of pain. Then luckily I have a physio at the track who will help and massage and help everything there. So yeah, there's also exercises every day. I have to go to the gym, train, try and improve the strength, but not, you know, damage it. So it's quite a big process.
And with which leg you have the biggest problem, with left or right leg during driving a car?
The left leg, because I lost, after the accident, I lost all feeling in the left leg. So I wasn't able to feel anything. And so it's quite difficult because this is still recovering, and so you're having to learn to drive. Basically, you have to hit a brake without feeling your leg. It's like when you wake up and your arm is dead and you can still move it but you can't feel it. Imagine trying to drive a car like this. It's weird. So it's difficult, but like I said, it's something I just have to learn.
Yeah, I have to ask you about your relationship with Lewis Sharp and Callum Voisin, because I noticed that yesterday you were playing golf together.
Yes, I was. The relationship's very good. They're both very nice guys and extremely fast, which I think they've shown. Callum won multiple F3 races, and Louis is a multiple-time champion in the F4 and GB3. But the relationship is good, and I think we're going to go play golf again sometime this week. So yeah, it's good.
And do you know that Callum Voisin had a Polish nanny?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
You have to ask him.
I will ask him.
He told me about it last year on Imola. His nanny named him Kaluś, so that's why you should call him Kaluś.
I didn't know that. I'll say this to him when I go play golf with him.
We had pre-season testing and we have in-season testing in Bahrain. What this in-season testing told you about car and your shape?
It's difficult to look at testing in general because, you know, some teams put more weight in the car, some teams don't use DRS, some teams run with the minimum weight. It's difficult to compare, so you can only look at yourself. I think for us at Rodin, it was positive. We made some steps forward, which I think is important. Still learning more about the car because it's a new car. But you know, that's gonna be the same for all 10 teams. Everyone's gonna be making steps forward. So to be honest, I don't know where we are at the moment because it's testing and we have to see in a week's time in Bahrain what position we are, but I think it was okay.
And that was for sure a good lesson for you because the next round is in Bahrain. What could you say about this track?
Yes, Bahrain's a very unique circuit. The track surface is very aggressive, very abrasive, so you have to change how you drive to this a lot. It's something I had to learn as I've never been to a track like this before. You know, you do the race run, and when we practiced this, you have to manage the tires even more than anywhere on the calendar. It's really difficult. So yeah, by the end of a race, the braking doesn't feel good. You turn the car, it doesn't feel good. You can't get on power because it's sliding everywhere. It's just another level of driving that you have to learn to adapt to work with a team to improve a car. So yes, it's not easy.
And what was the most difficult for you during the first round in Australia, in F3?
I would say F3 is so chaotic. You know, practice was the only normal session. Then you get to qualifying, I did one lap and it was my first lap. That puts me in qualifying because then it's red flags. And then I get to the race, the sprint race. I've never had a first lap so crazy. I started third, I went down to fifth, then I went back to third, to second, to fifth, and then back to third in one lap. And I finished the first lap and I was like, I have to breathe, you know, because it was crazy. So I'd say it's just very chaotic. Now being in the Formula One paddock, everything is big, it feels very real. You walk into the track and there's people screaming your name, which you don't have in the FRECA paddock. So it's a crazy feeling. Everything feels very real, let's say.
And right now you are very close to your dream, because your dream for sure is Formula One. But right now, what are your predictions before the next round in Bahrain?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. F3 is really tricky. It's really difficult to say where you are. I think if I was sitting in a Trident right now, I could quite confidently say, you know, it's gonna be a good weekend. But I honestly think we have a good car under us, and I believe in myself, and so I think it can be a good weekend. I can't say if it's gonna be top 10, top 5, first, top 20. I really don't know. I have to do the best I can do, and we will see.
You mentioned about Trident, so I have to ask you about this. Is it true that you were close to this team in Formula 3?
Yeah.
Difficult question.
Yeah. I was signed into Trident for this year for F3. But then, you know, after my accident, that contract went, so there's nothing I can change with that. But you know, I'm very happy where I am. So yeah.
This is time for you to send a message for Polish fans before the upcoming second round.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everyone for all the support, especially that I've been getting a lot at the track, which I didn't expect at Melbourne, which was very nice. And on social media, it's been incredible. So thank you to everyone, because it really means so much to me.
Yeah, fingers crossed, Roman. Thank you very much. Good luck and see you maybe after the next round.
Perfect. Thank you very much.